What's up, Canes fans? Peter Ariz here, bringing you today's instant reaction to practice number 4 for the Miami Hurricanes. I'm back in the car here. We've had some complaints about the construction outside, so let me know if it sounds better. Hopefully, that I like the backdrop of that setup, man. So hopefully we get that situated over there. But no, man, I wanted to make sure that I bring you guys the latest from practice today. Appreciate everyone who hops on with us here. Let me know in the comments if the connection's good, if we got good audio and all that, because I'm trying the old setup here again. But as always, going to get right into the latest from practice. Just left the media viewing portion of practice. Got about 45, 50 minutes in there. So excited to get into it here, and getting some comments here saying it sounds good. So we will get right into it. As always, kind of all over the place, kind of scattered in terms of where the info is, not necessarily going position by position, just going through my notes here and going to give it to you guys how I saw it. So right off the bat, I actually ran into John Vilma on campus before practice. He told me he's going to probably be out of practice sometime next week. Wanted to give the guys a couple weeks of practice before he checked them out, but that was cool. So right off the bat, when we walked in there, running backs were right in front of us. And every time I see these guys, man, I'm just really excited about the physical nature of the group. But then Gerard Pringle sticks out to me as a guy who, he's got a little jiggy to him, right? I mean, he's a smaller back, but he has between the tackles ability, home run threat with his speed. And when you see these guys up close, you can just see their movement skills a little bit. Not to say the other guys are stiff. They aren't whatsoever. But when you have someone like Pringle who gives you such a different look, it's going to look different right in front of you and right in front of your eyes. So getting an up-close look at those guys, Pringle continues to be someone that I'm intrigued with and interested to see what his role could look like as the season goes on. And guys, if you're just joining me now, again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I launched this morning, you guys might have seen it on my Twitter, a private Discord, a Canes Discord server. So it's not going to change anything I do here, but I'm going to be doing a lot more written content on there. I was posting live updates on the server from practice, exclusive videos that you're not going to find anywhere else. And a lot of the stuff I have here, kind of stuff I'm talking about, I provide a lot more context in the chat, and I'm going to give you guys full written breakdown. So similar to what I'm doing now in video form, but in written form. So if you go to my Twitter page, you'll find the link to that. But one of the videos I posted, Dante Simpson, freshman, really, I think, pushing for D tackle number 4, even though we understand Ahmad Moten, Justin Scott, David Blay pretty much solidified as a top 3. And then you have Mesidor and Bain, who will slide inside on pass rushing situations. You still need another guy to step up there. And I think Dante Simpson really looks good physically, true freshman who, he's not a 320 plus guy yet, but he is already in a 300, 305 range, looking lean in a good way, meaning he can add more weight to that frame. So the 15 pounds plus that he's probably put on now, as he told me at media day already, doesn't seem to be slowing him down. It doesn't look like it's too much on him, right? So I think you got the frame to put even more weight on him, and we'll see what he does this year. I don't know that I really ever expect any true freshman D tackles to be huge difference makers like we saw Justin Scott in flashes last year. But it's year 2 now where we expect him to take that step. Dante Simpson, physically, really like what I'm seeing from him. Kevin Dennis asking about Artavius Jones. I think Simpson's making a push, man. I think he's making a push to potentially leapfrog him. I know it's a big opportunity here for Artavius Jones. We know what he is in the weight room, but I think want to continue to see more consistency from him. So and Johnny Lagoon says, I hope he can play early, but a freshman DT is scary. Again, I'm not saying right now this guy's going to be a game wrecker, but you got something there with him. I really think that was a great pickup. Miami obviously flipped him from Maryland, a local kid, but wasn't a huge recruit. The early returns, what I'm seeing there, I really like. Someone who I got a up close look at today, who I hadn't, I'd seen him, but I really tried to focus in on him. Jacoby Thomas, safety transfer from Tennessee. He has the size that you're looking for there. We've talked about the physicality that he hopefully can bring, the mentality that he can bring to this this defense. But just seeing him up close, man, strong core from the looks of it. So he had a really nice pass breakup on Alex Bauman and in a one-on-one today, which was nice to see. So early talk about him has been good. I think Dylan Day is going to push for a lot of playing time in that room as well. But Jacoby Thomas looks like, and it's funny because he started his career at Middle Tennessee State, but an upgrade in that room physically. It looks like an SEC type of DB is what I was getting at. Markeith Williams, he's someone who we've seen in pictures, has put on a little weight. I think he still is a bit on the smaller side to me. You're looking at more of a coverage guy, but had a good couple reps and some tackling drills today. Posted those videos on the Discord server today, where there was one rep in particular that Will Harris shouted him out for having a really good rep in a tackling drill. So I posted that video on there. So that was good to see from Markeith. Bryce Fitzgerald getting a lot of work with what looks like the safeties group when they separate up. Could he play some corner? Maybe, but I think right now with the way that the depth in that room is looking, you're better off getting him more reps here early on at safety, because he came in late, not to any fault of his own, but he came in the summer. He wasn't here during the spring. Lot of bodies in that room at corner right now. For someone like him who needs reps, and I think his skill set from a range skill set standpoint, the speed that he has back there could be a nice free safety with some coverage ability. There was one DB drill in particular where Will Harris was holding the pad, and players kind of had to extend and shed. And man, one guy, because look, in what we're seeing in the media portion, we get some 7-on-7, we get 1-on-1s, but you take what you can get. And one thing you can tell with a lot of these guys up close is it just sounds different. It kind of feels different when there's some pop. And Amari Wallace definitely looks like someone who, not the biggest safety in the world, but plays with an edge to him and has that pop in his hands, that physicality that not every defensive back has, and it's very important in today's game. So Amari Wallace, we'll see how much he plays this year, but coming back from that leg injury, obviously participated in spring, looked like he was healthy, and I think you're continuing to get that trend with him. Chris Ewald, someone who I think could see some time, and early on, not early on against like a Notre Dame necessarily, but I think you work him in the mix, and you see what you've got there, maybe some special teams right away, but looks smooth, man, going through these DB drills, the footwork, the hips, it just looks effortless with him. It doesn't look like doesn't look like it's herky jerky. It doesn't look like he's doing something that is not natural to him, so to speak. What else do we got here? Zechariah Poyser, that's one thing I posted in the video. He's another one who in these tackling drills just has different pop, the way that he was lifting, I think it was Coach Jefferson who was taking a brunt of the hits, just lifting these guys, and the way that he was driving through, right? He's someone, I was talking to David Lake from Inside the U, and we both agreed has made a big physical transformation, a big physical jump in terms of adding weight from the springtime to now. And I think that's obviously the jump he took from Jacksonville State to Miami. Big, but the weight room, the nutrition, I think has caught up to him, and very excited about Zechariah Poyser. I'm a big believer in him. Damari, just talking about guys who look clean in these DB drills, going through it. Damari Brown, Xavier Lucas, for their size. These guys, Damari Brown he started his career at Miami really as a physical blitzing nickel. And you heard Coach Cristobal freshman year talk about how physical this guy was from that position. And a lot of people have said, let's move this guy to safety. He's got the size to do it. He's got the strength to do it. But when you see him going through these drills and his back pedal, changing directions, it looks good, man. He looks like a cornerback to me, and I think we easily try to move these guys, but when there's weaknesses in other spots. But I like that skill set at corner, man. I think if you have that size, you have that movement ability, and then just the instincts that he seems to have as well. We know he wasn't healthy last year. But yeah, arrow continues to point up. Kellen Wiley Sr., man, appreciate you hopping on the show as always. We've been talking a lot about Kellen Wiley Jr., guys. D Money did a whole kind of segment. I did a whole show on it the other day. D did a separate segment about he's someone who continues to impress. And of course, we'll get these thoughts on practice later today. But that linebacker group looks good, man. As a whole, I'm really Mo Toure. He's got some pop in those pads, man. I put in my Discord that like he's another one that it just sounds different going through it, right? So really the knee as we get into shells today, and then we'll continue to ramp that physicality up. We'll see how he looks as they get into those scrums. But linebackers looking like a new group, man. Whole different ball game there from what you've had the last last year started to look better with some of the guys that Coach Dinick brought in, but you're gonna, I believe, take really a whole nother step this year. And I agree, man. There's some depth on this team, man. There's a lot of depth in good places. I really am, as I continue to get out to these practices, becoming more and more excited. As I got to tell you, I'm normally someone who's I don't want to say pessimistic. I like to say realistic, right? And I think I kind of have. I try to have a not that I know everyone's rosters, the ins and out of every team across the country, but I try to take a step back sometimes when assessing what Miami has comparatively and understand that there's a lot of great programs out there. But this team's good. This team, in terms of the talent, is stacking up well, more talented than last year across the board. Carson Beck looking good. I'm going to get into some one-on-ones here real quick, guys, before I'm actually going to be going on with Alex Dono right after this. So I'm going to wrap things up here with one-on-ones, and I'm just going to go through it. CJ, or one-on-one, 7-on-7. So a lot of zone in the early part of the 7-on-7 portion. CJ Daniels with a reception sat on an underneath route, for a reception. Carson Beck, next rep he was looking downfield. Everything was covered up. Hits Elijah Lofton on a check down in the flat. Tony Johnson, nice contested catch by him across the middle as Zach Poyser got there at the same time. Emery was in at quarterback there, so nice throw by him. Next play, Emery completed a ball like 10, 15 yards down the middle of the field to Dalen Upshaw. Emery then completed an out towards the sideline to Ray Joseph. Chase Smith had a nice pass breakup across the middle, and he was kind of in zone, lurking in the middle of the field. The other side of the field, there was some trench work going on, and Marquise Lightfoot just caught a glimpse of the bend that he has. Had a really nice battle going on between him and Tommy Kinsler. Samson Okunlola, a really nice rep I saw from him against Malik Bryant in pass protection. And I know I'm kind of rambling here, but I'm just going down my notes. Special teams work. Josh Moore was looking good as a gunner just in his get off, and I think that could be a nice role for him early on, just running straight down in a straight line down the field and getting to the return man. Now one-on-ones. A lot of what I just said was 7-on-7 stuff. One-on-ones. Ray beat Isaiah Taylor on like a 5-yard slant. It was like an in-breaking route. Jacoby Thomas, I mentioned this play earlier. Nice pass breakup on Alex Bauman. Chance Robinson had a nice comeback route. I didn't see who was in coverage, but he made a nice snag on it. The ball was maybe a bit high. Malachi Tony to me with the rep of the day that I saw. Nasty contested catch on Zach Poyser. And it was an outbreaking route towards the sideline. And I think CJ Daniels mentioned this yesterday. His ability to track the ball coming out of his breaks, he kind of turned around. And while he's turning, is floating in the air, snags the ball with two hands as he's floating, shielding off Poyser behind him. So playing much bigger than his size, playing stronger than maybe you would think a true freshman coming in is. to me, that was just that was the play that received some oohs and ahs from the people in the building. Again, elevated and snagged it out of the air. Dylan Day, great coverage on Isaiah Lofton. Elijah Lofton down the sideline. And I mean, the ball was kind of overthrown outside the right side of his shoulder, but I don't want to say overthrown. There was nowhere to go with it. And I don't believe it was Carson Beck, a quarterback. I don't know who it was, and I don't want to misspeak, but I don't believe it was Beck. Keelan Marion was not able to separate on a deep ball down the sideline on Xavier Lucas. So that was an easy rep for Lucas to win. Josh Moore, deep post touchdown on Ryan Mack out there, who still has a brace on, getting back from his injury from last year. But Josh Moore looks good, man. I keep talking about him. He's a physical monster out there. Tony Johnson, nice corner route touchdown, about 15, 20 yards, maybe a little longer, 20, 25 yards on Keontae Scott. Carson Beck with a dime touchdown pass to Dalen Upshaw over the shoulder of Chris Ewald. And Upshaw made a nice adjustment on the ball, but he really didn't have to do much. It was a beautiful throw and it dropped in the bucket by Carson Beck. Brevin Jordan beat Jacoby Thomas underneath on like a crosser. Nasty post route by CJ Daniels that kind of turned Xavier Lucas around for a touchdown. So CJ Daniels, really good day for him in my estimation. Emory Williams, nice, more than nice. I wrote beautiful deep ball touchdown to Malachi Toney over the top of a walk-on defensive back. And then Amari Wallace with a pass breakup on tight end Owen Ruskovich. Did I say Brevin Jordan? I'm sorry. I meant Elijah Lofton. Yes, I meant Elijah Lofton. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got, guys. I appreciate everyone who was on here with me live. I gotta hop off because I'm gonna be joining Alex Dono here in just a second. But let me drop the link here to the Discord. You guys can go check that out. Appreciate the support. Go check it out. This is my new, I don't know if I sent you guys the right link, but it's on my Twitter. You guys go check it out. The work Discord. Appreciate everyone who hopped on with me here today. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned as D Money will most likely be hopping on here to give you his thoughts on practice today. Later, go Canes.